Lady Louise Mountbatten was Queen of Sweden through her marriage to King Gustaf VI Adolf of Sweden. She was related to the royal family of Britain as a great-granddaughter of Queen Victoria and to the Russian Imperial Family as a niece of Alix of Hesse, the last Tsarina of Russia. Queen Louise was known for her progressiveness, and in this video we will learn more about Louise Mountbatten. Born Princess Louise of Battenberg on the 13th of July 1889, Princess Louise was the second daughter of Prince Louis of Battenberg and Princess Victoria of Hesse and by Rhine. She was born at Heiligenberg Castle in the Grand Duchy of Hesse and by Rhine. Due to her father's job, Louise and her family moved around often to different parts of the British Empire. Princess Louise had a happy childhood. Her parents had a loving marriage, and Princess Louise was close to her siblings Alice, George and Louis. As with most young princesses, Princess Louise and Princess Alice were educated by governesses. Princess Louise briefly attended Texter's Girls' School. In 1914, Princess Louise and her mother, Princess Victoria, visited her aunt, Tsarina Alix, in Russia. The trip was cut short by the outbreak of the First World War, and they had to return to England. They stopped briefly in neutral Sweden in order to return to England. They stayed as guests at the home of Crown Prince Gustaf Adolf and Crown Princess Margaret, a cousin of Louise. In 1909, King Manuel II of Portugal proposed to Princess Louise, but she refused his proposal. She wished to marry for love, as her parents had done. That same year, Princess Louise was secretly engaged to Prince Gustaf of Greece and Denmark, the brother-in-law of her sister, Princess Alice. However, this relationship ended due to financial difficulties. Princess Louise had several more romances over the years. During the First World War, Princess Louise fell in love with Alexander Stuart Hill, and they became engaged. Fearing her parents' disapproval, she kept the engagement a secret until she eventually told them. They were understanding and invited her fiancé over to meet him. Because of their lack of finances, they decided to postpone their wedding until after the war. Eventually, the relationship ended when Princess Louise's father explained to Princess Louise that Stuart Hill was gay and that a marriage with him would lead to unhappiness on both sides. During the First World War, Princess Louise enlisted in the Red Cross and served as a nurse. She worked at different French hospitals from 1915 to 1917. For her work, Princess Louise was awarded a medal from the British Red Cross, the British War Medal and the Victory Medal. Following the war, Princess Louise was active in social work, working with children living in the slums of London. In 1917, Princess Louise's father was created the Marquess of Milford Haven, but was forced to renounce his German titles. As a result, Princess Louise became known as Lady Louise Mountbatten. In 1923, Lady Louise became reacquainted with the Crown Prince of Sweden. The Crown Princess had died 3 years prior. Lady Louise and the Crown Prince began courting. Lady Louise had once said she would never marry a king nor a widower, but she ended up married to a man who was both. They became engaged in 1923. According to Swedish law at the time, a member of the Swedish royal family could not marry without the monarch's consent and could not marry a commoner. Under further investigation, the Swedish government stated that Lady Louise was an acceptable choice for a bride, and a treaty was signed to allow the couple to marry. On the 3rd of November 1923, Lady Louise married Crown Prince Gustaf Adolf in the Chapel Royal at St. James's Palace. Crown Princess Louise became a stepmother to the Crown Prince's children from his first marriage. The marriage was a happy one. Crown Princess Louise got on well with her new family. In 1925, Crown Princess Louise gave birth to her only child, a stillborn daughter. In 1930, Crown Princess Louise became the First Lady of the nation following the death of her mother-in-law. She took on her mother-in-law's organisations and associations. Crown Princess Louise believed in gender equality and that women should be allowed to work if they wished to. She believed that women should be more involved in politics and governing. As Crown Princess of Sweden, Crown Princess Louise made several official trips abroad with Crown Prince Gustaf Adolf, including to the USA, Greece and the continent of Africa. During the Second World War, Crown Princess Louise was active within the Red Cross. She established a campaign called Winter Lights to collect candles and non-electric light sources for those in need. She set up the Crown Princess Gift Association for the Neutral Defence Forces, which provided soldiers with socks, scarves and caps. During the Winter War, Crown Princess Louise set up an orphanage for Finnish war orphans at Ulriksdal Palace. Much of Crown Princess Louise's efforts helped to save lives. In 1950, Crown Princess Louise's husband became King of Sweden, and Louise became Queen Consort of Sweden. She was a Democrat at heart and was disturbed by the awe and admiration the public had for the monarchy, finding it peculiar how people viewed royalty as celebrities for no reason. Queen Louise disliked the strict court protocol that had existed before the war, and when she became queen, she changed many of the policies in place. For example, she got rid of court presentations, replacing them with ladies' lunches, in which she invited women with careers to. Queen Louise had a good heart and had a great sense of humour. She was seen as eccentric, but the people loved her. She loved Sweden and found their political system to be one that fostered happiness in its people. She loved Swedish culture and nature. She was known to bring her Pomeranians with her wherever she went. When she was not allowed to bring her Pomeranians, Queen Louise would hide her dogs about her person. In later life, Queen Louise suffered from heart issues. Her last official engagement was at the Nobel Prize dinner in December 1964, in which she fell ill. In March 1965, Queen Louise had surgery to correct her circulatory issues. She did not recover from the surgery and passed away on the 7th of March 1965. She was buried beside her husband and his first wife in the Royal Cemetery at Solna.